and welcome back to GK Today. I am Pranab and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 8th of October 2022. Let's start. The Nobel Prize for Physics 2022 is being shared by 3 scientists for their work in which particular field? So the Nobel Prize for Physics 2022 is being shared by 3 scientists. First is Alain Aspect, second is John F. Clauser, and last but not the least, third name is Anton Zeilinger. Okay, and they have received this prestigious prize for their work on quantum mechanics. So these 3 scientists have conducted a series of experiments on entangled quantum states where 2 separate particles behave like a single unit. Okay, and their results will now have the implications in the fields of quantum computers, quantum networks, and secure quantum encrypted communication. Okay, now yesterday we have talked about the Nobel Prize for Physiology, or you can say the Nobel Prize for Medicine. Who has won this prize? So the name was Svante Pabo, right? So these names are very important. Next is President Draupadi Murmu launched her startup, a startup platform for women entrepreneurs in which city? So President Draupadi Murmu has launched her startup, and this is a startup platform for the women entrepreneurs created by Gujarat University in Ahmedabad. Okay, and this platform is dedicated to women entrepreneurs, and basically it will boost the innovation and startup efforts of these women, and also it will connect these entrepreneurs with various government and the private enterprises. Okay, now apart from it, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is implemented by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and as per the recent report, under the third phase of this Yojana in 2021 to 22, only 72% was utilized. Okay, so out of about 4 lakh candidates, only 8% have been placed, right? And under all the 3 phases of this scheme, means 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0, about 20% of the total enrolled candidates dropped out of the training program. Fine. So you can be asked that which union ministry implements Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana? So answer would be Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Next is, who is the recipient of 2022 Nansen Award given by United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees? So former German Chancellor Angela Merkel was named as the recipient of Nansen Award that is given by United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. Okay, also she is the former scientist who led her country for 16 years, and she was awarded for offering shelter to over 1.2 million refugees and the asylum seekers during the Syrian conflict when other countries were turning their backs on them, right? So who's the recipient of this particular award? Answer would be Angela Merkel. Next is, as per the recent government data, which state has the highest gap in infant mortality rate between boys and the girls in 2020? So according to Sample Registration System Statistical Report 2020, Chhattisgarh had the highest gap in 2020 with a male infant mortality rate of 35 compared to female infant mortality rate of 41. Okay, and this male and female IMR equalized in 2020 in India. So infant mortality rate is the number of infant deaths for every 1000 live birth. Okay, so in our rural areas, means in the rural India, female IMR remained marginally higher than male IMR, although the gap had reduced. And in the urban India, the female IMR fell below that of males by 2020. Okay, so the highest gap was found to be in Chhattisgarh state. Next is, India handed over indigenously produced motorbikes to which country as a part of bilateral assistance? So India handed over indigenously produced motorbikes to the country Lebanon, and these made in India motorbikes were handed over to Lebanon's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigrants. Okay, and this is a part of bilateral assistance. Also, India has announced to organize an artificial limb fitment camp in Lebanon, and also the country has appreciated the positive role played by the Indian battalion at United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. Okay, so only thing you have to remember is India has handed over these indigenously produced motorbikes to the country Lebanon. Can you tell me the highest food price inflation was found to be in which country among all these four options? Do let me know in the comments. Next is, what is the theme of the World Teachers Day 2022? So everyone knows that 5th of October is observed as the World Teachers Day around the world, and it is observed to express our gratitude for the contribution of teachers. This year theme was the change of education begins with teachers, and obviously two things are important. World Teachers Day is observed on 5th of October, and what was the theme for this year? Also don't forget that we observed the National Teachers Day on 5th of September. Okay, and you have to tell me why 5th of September means this is the date of birth anniversary of which important personality. Do let me know in the comments. Next is, PR Srijesh and Savita Punia, who were seen in the news recently, are associated with which sport? So PR Srijesh and Savita Punia have been voted FIH Men's and the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year for the second year in a row. And veteran goalkeeper PR Srijesh and Savita Punia, who is the captain of Indian women's hockey team, both received the FIH Goalkeeper of the Year title in the men's and the women's categories. Okay, and don't forget that Savita Punia is only the third athlete to win the Goalkeeper of the Year award in the women category for 3 years in a row. Okay, so correct answer would be hockey. You can also be asked it who has been declared as FIH Men's Goalkeeper of the Year or Women's Goalkeeper of the Year. So name is also important, don't forget it. Okay. Next is, which country is the host of the Commonwealth Games 2026? So the Commonwealth Games Federation and the Commonwealth Games Australia unveiled the sport program for the Victoria 2026 Commonwealth Games. So it features 20 sports and 26 disciplines, including 9 fully integrated para sports. Okay, so shooting, which was controversially dropped from the Birmingham Commonwealth Game, is again included in the 2026 edition in Victoria, Australia, and shooting has been the strongest sport of India recently, right? So the host of the Commonwealth Games for the year 2026 would be Australia. Next is, which country is the world's largest producer and consumer of sugar in 2021 to 22? So for this time period, India is the world's largest producer and the consumer of sugar, as well as the world's second largest exporter of sugar. Okay, and India's sugar exports rose to 57%, means up to 109.8 lakh tons during 2021 to 22, and this resulted in foreign currency inflow worth about 40,000 crore rupees into the country. Okay, so only thing here relevant is India is the world's largest producer and consumer of sugar. Also, we are the second largest exporter of sugar. Next question is, who is the head of the Committee of Experts on Sustainable Finance set up by IFSCA? What is the full form? International Financial Services Centers Authority, right? And it constituted the Committee of Experts on Sustainable Finance, and this committee was headed by Mr. C.K. Mishra, who is the former secretary to the government of India. So recently he submitted his final report to the chairperson of this particular authority. So some important recommendations include, for example, developing a voluntary carbon market, then framework for transition bonds, enabling the de-risking mechanisms, and promoting the regulatory sandbox for the green fintech. And also the committee proposes to set up a dedicated MSME platform for sustainable lending. Okay, so don't forget that who's the head of this committee. So answer would be Mr. C.K. Mishra. Now apart from it, the Central Bureau of Investigation carried out searches against the cyber criminals involved in financial crimes at 105 locations across India. Okay, and this operation was named as Operation Chakra. Okay, and the action was taken after inputs from Interpol, FBI, Australian Federal Police, etc. And a large amount of digital evidence, cash and the gold have been recovered during these searches. So you can be asked that Operation Chakra, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which particular institution? So answer would be CBI. Next is, who is the first Indian cricket captain to score 500 T20I runs in a calendar year? So Rohit Sharma recorded his 400th appearance in the T20I, and he became the first Indian player to feature in the 400 T20I games. Okay, with this he is also the first Indian captain to score 500 T20I runs in a calendar year. Also, he is the first Indian skipper that lead India to a T20I series win over the South Africa team. Okay, so this is Rohit Sharma. And last question says, which Bollywood actor has been declared as the national icon of Election Commission of India in 2022? So actor Pankaj Tripathi has been declared as the national icon of Election Commission of India for creating awareness amongst the voters along with ECI. Okay, so in the 2017 film Newton, for which he won the national award, he played a role of CRPF officer. So here important thing is Election Commission of India has made actor Pankaj Tripathi as its national icon. Okay, so these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now we'll come to our revision section. Which three categories we are covering today? So first of all, we'll see few important and recent appointments. At second, we'll talk about books and authors. And at last, we'll see important things that have been launched recently. Okay. So let's start with the recent appointments. Who has been appointed as the new Attorney General of India? So our new Attorney General is Mr. N. Venkat Ramani. Okay, and you have to tell me R. Venkat Ramani has replaced whom? Who has been appointed as the Chief of Defence Staff in 2022? This is Lieutenant General Mr. Anil Chauhan. Who has been appointed for amending the Constitution of Indian Olympic Association? So Justice L. Nageswar Rao has been appointed for amending the Constitution of Indian Olympic Association. Who has been appointed as the Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research? This is Mr. Rajiv Behel. Climate activist Vanessa Nakate, who was appointed as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, is from which country? First of all, you have to remember that UNICEF has appointed Vanessa Nakate as its Goodwill Ambassador, and she is from the country Uganda. Volker Turk, who was appointed as the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights is from which country? So he is from the country Austria. Who has been appointed as the new chairman of Defense Research and the Development Organization in 2022? So our new chairman of DRDO is Mr. Samir V. Kamath. Which Indian has been appointed to the United Nations Internet Governance Forum Leadership Panel? This is Mr. Alkesh Kumar Sharma. Okay, so these are the important appointments that you have to remember. Next, we'll be talking about important books and authors. Who is the author of the book titled as The India Way: Strategies for an Uncertain World? So this is the book from our Union Minister S. Jaishankar. Who is the author of the book Indian Banking in Retrospect: 75 Years of Independence? This is a book of Mr. Ashutosh Raravikar. Okay. New India Selected Writings 2014 to 19, which was released recently, is a book of compiled writings of which leader? So this is the book of compiled writings of Mr. Arun Jaitley. Lockdown Lyrics, which was released recently, is a book written by which author? So Lockdown Lyrics was written by Sanjukta Dash. Who is the author of the novel Tomb of Sand, originally titled as Raid's Mausoleum, which has won the 2022 International Booker Prize? Very important question. You can be asked that which book has recently won the 2022 International Booker Prize. So the name of the book is Tomb of Sand, and this has been authored by Geetanjali Shri. Okay, author's name is also important, obviously. Romain Ronald Book Prize is awarded to the best translation of which language book into Indian language or English? So this prize is awarded to the best translation of the French language book into Indian language or English. Okay, you have to tell me who has won the Romain Ronald Book Prize for the year 2022. Who is the author of the book titled as Not Just a Night Watchman: My Innings in the BCCI? So this is a book of Mr. Vinod Rai. Okay. Next, we'll be talking about few important launches that are important. Which country launched experimental satellites named as Shiyan 14 and Shiyan 15? So these two satellites belong to the country China. NROL 91, which was seen in the news, was launched by which country? So this experiment was undertaken by the country USA. What is the name of the Indian Sign Language Dictionary mobile application recently launched? So the name of this ISL Dictionary mobile application is Sign Learn Application. DART mission, which was seen in the news, was launched by which country? Everyone knows that DART is a mission of NASA, so correct answer would be USA. Which country has successfully tested the hybrid motor for new propulsion system used in the launch vehicles? So this country is India. A skill application which was launched recently provides the skill development solutions for employees of which field? So to know from which field it is related to, you have to know the full form of SCALE term. What is the full form of SCALE acronym? So it is a skill certification assessment for leather employees. Okay, so this application is related to leather sector. Which country has launched the world's first cheetah rehabilitation project? So this is a project of India, obviously, and we have relocated the cheetahs from the country Namibia to our country in the Kuno National Park that lies in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Which state has launched a web portal named as CM the High C Inform to CM, where public can register their complaints for CM? So this is Manipur state. Fine. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Hadsana signing off.